you and I both know that people's attention spans are very, very short.
Oh, it's crazy.
One thing Instagram just started doing, I say just because I just found out about it a couple weeks ago.
All right, so I asked my friend, Mr. Dom Fawcett, to come in. Dom is the CEO of Think React Lead, and he is an executive coach and leadership speaker. And his company does absolutely incredible on social media. So I wanted to get your opinion on the trends that I'm predicting for 2021, and let me know what you think. So let's start with content marketing. So do you see that as being something that's really important, and specifically in short form video? Kind of how do you see that going?
It's going to be the wave of the future, and I don't have a crystal ball, nor can I see into the future. But when you do things long enough, like you and I have, we're able to see kind of what trends are. And you and I both know that people's attention spans are very, very short.
Oh, it's crazy.
One thing Instagram just started doing, I say just because I just found out about it a couple weeks ago, went on for some months, but people's short videos, longer than 2 minutes, but I would say shorter than 10, commercials have started to pop up in their videos.
Okay.
Yeah, so that tells me that, and I've started doing this probably 6 months ago, keep my videos outside of the radio show between 2 minutes and 7 minutes. Even my podcast I've learned to keep short. Why? Because there's a million people that try to do what we do.
Yeah.
But people's attention spans are like, it has to be short but consistent. So not just one video every week, but I don't know what you suggest, but I tell people at least a video a day.
Yeah, no, I encourage the same thing. But we do a lot of we record one and then break it up into several segments. That way, if someone only has a minute or whatever, they can watch that, hopefully get something from it, and then ideally that social media platform will start recommending your videos to them as well. So
you guys do well doing or I've seen your videos where you do 7 videos at once, and then you post one like every day or every other day, so it leads the viewer. Oh, what's the next one? What's the next one? So that's key as well. Is that what they call that?
Yeah, or a season.
Series, season. Yeah. Season it. Go ahead. Anyways.
But yeah, so if your goal is to post a video that grabs someone's attention and draws them in 30 seconds or less, what are some tips that you can give for those?
I think if we start doing the video without thinking about drawing the person's attention in, especially if you're just getting started, get to know you on camera. One thing I do is every single video, welcome to Think React Lead. I'm your host, Dom Fawcett, executive coach and leadership speaker. That lets people know the name of my company, my name, which that's my brand, and what it is they're going to see. A lot of people, when they start doing videos, they lose their audience. Hey, and this is one thing you and I don't do, and we talk about it off camera. Okay, so one of the things we're going to talk, done. Person's done watching, unless you've built the audience. Get to the point, have high energy, and then I like storytelling. I'm talking like very short, like a 30-second story.
Yeah.
Right? People like to hear that you messed up. One of the things my wife hates about what I do is, boom. Right? People can relate to that.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that advice. I like the don't worry about drawing them in real quick right away if you're new to video.
People overthink that.
If you've been doing video for a while, you're comfortable with it.
It's a concern.
Yeah, then then get on it and start working on different ways to draw people in. I always just test differently.
Oh yeah, you have to.
Yeah, one of the ways I used to draw people in a lot, especially when I did live webinars, was I'd say, all right, I know that we have people registered from all around the world. Let's go ahead, just enter into the chat where you're calling in from, and I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna do some shout outs. So it'd go through and New York, Florida,
Texas.
Yeah.
Not that you have to say it that way. And that works great on a webinar because you already have a captivated audience, especially with your content.
Well, and what I was trying to draw them, the reason I was trying to draw them in is how much people were doing the automated webinar things and pretending they were live.
Right.
I wanted to let people know, hey, this is live. I'm calling out Dom Fawcett from Phoenix, Arizona.
Right.
So people seem to like that.
And what I have found, what works on Monday might not work on a Tuesday, or might not work on a Friday. What works on Friday at 9 a.m. might not work Friday at 10 p.m. I've noticed that, and this is on accident. So my son's at home because of COVID and homeschooling stuff now. He has to be there. People love just raw interruptions. I've told my son, I don't care what questions, just come into the camera. And my son will literally just walk into the camera, and people don't encourage them to do it because then it seems unnatural. But people like seeing the real side of the person and we'll talk about that later, that's doing the video.
Yeah, absolutely. So trend number 2 that I'm predicting for 2021 is advocacy is going to be absolutely critical. And I talked a little bit in the monologue about how important it's become, especially with all the chaos that has existed in 2020.
Right.
I think we can all agree it's been a chaotic year.
A little bit.
And so with all the chaos, people are turning to certain brands, and when a brand represents something, doesn't have to be a social issue. It can be though. Whatever that is, depending on your brand and how you want things represented. Build a community.
Very true.
Just yesterday I was on the phone with a gentleman who has the biggest Facebook real estate community in the country.
Okay.
And talking to him about different things, and he obviously jumped on that trend way earlier than a lot of people, but it's paying off in dividends now for him.
Right.
Because he has that, not just with his real estate business, but he's been able to diversify his earnings and his business into different things because of his success there. So build a community and create advocates of your brand. Next one, I know is something you're going to be excited about: live video.
Love it. Let me just real quick touch on advocacy.
Oh, sorry.
The way that you stay in your lane, right? I talk about leadership and confidence. That's kind of my thing.
Mm-hmm.
The mistake that a lot of people make is they focus on who am I entertaining, who am I engaging, who's going to like my videos. Just stay in your lane. 'Cause I'm sure the real estate guy, he doesn't talk about cars. He doesn't talk about vacationing, right? Global travel. He talks about real estate. People know what to come to him for, but you said live video.
Sorry, I didn't.
No, you're good. You're
didn't
good.
ask your opinion. I just went off on my own.
Hey, no, that's totally fine. as you should. Not so much.
But yeah, live video. So you do probably more live video than anyone that I know. There might be one other person that I know that does more than you, but you do a lot.
I have to.
Even when I text message you, you reply with a live video of you speaking the response. So, talk to us about why you think live video is important, why you think that'll be a continuous
First,
trend.
let's talk about the text. I've learned I like to text respond people with a live video just because I think it's more personal. Because everybody messages, everybody texts and reads, but I do a live video because most people that I talk to are afraid to be on the camera. And it's in the moment, no matter what. I can be in the grocery store with my wife, out, and it doesn't matter, I do it. Anyways, live video. I started doing live video with my phone, and what I've learned with technologies, not specific to live video, but it grows. Like, you have to adapt very, very quick. So if you've been using your phone for live video, invest in a camera, right? Or come to a studio and do a live video if you have the ability to do that. But what I have found is that the crispness and clarity that I get from doing live videos with my Sony a6400, I get more engagement than I do when I'm using my phone because people compare that look to television.
And at the same time, I think that there's something to be said still about the phone thing.
Oh yeah.
And the rawness of it.
Oh yeah, people like it.
It's you mix it up. You don't have all of one thing or another. I think
that gets boring.
More of the point there.
Right.
And if you're always holding your phone this way and recording it, or it's in a stand, try it that way a little bit. Try it, and on your cameras, try different angles. Try moving at times during a live. That's another thing.
I just ordered this belt strap thing that has an arm that comes out to about, let's say, 1.5 feet off my chest, so I can put my phone in it, so I can walk around the house or wherever I'm at doing a live video and use both hands, and you don't see the strap. You don't see the apparatus.
Yeah, exactly.
That's attached to my torso.
Yeah.
Torso? Torso?
Absolutely. It must be on the torso.
But that's just, it's a cheap device, $60, $70, but that's something different because if you use camera all the time, then people get accustomed to clarity and you never use your phone. Again, just like you said, mix it up.
Yeah, I got ripped off one time. I got one of those that actually went around the neck.
I've seen that.
And it was like it just shot up my nose the whole time. So
yeah, nobody wants to see that.
Yeah, you gotta have it out a little bit for sure. So the next one is social commerce, selling through social media. So I told in the monologue, told a story about how we set up a automated Facebook chatbot that walked people through, and it was dynamic too, where if they answered this way, then it would offer one thing. If they answered a different way, it would offer another. People are comfortable buying on social media.
Oh, they're very, very comfortable buying on social media.
It's wild. Because 5 years ago, definitely not.
2 year and a half.
Yeah.
Pre-COVID.
That's right. Yeah, it's become crazy, and all my clients who sell something online, or if you've had an online sales presence pre-COVID,
you're doing well.
Doing incredibly well. Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
by September they had their best year ever.
Okay.
And it's just about giving people the option. Doesn't mean you stop selling in person.
Right. It's just it's something else to do, or a different way of doing what you're already doing. But one thing I think people miss is they forget to sell. Right?
All the time.
The reason I start all my videos with "Welcome to Think, React, Lead." My name is Dom Fawcett, your executive coach and leadership speaker. And so people know that if I sell a book or an ebook on leadership or how to speak, they've already heard me say what I do so many times, so it sells itself. And one of the things that I'm doing next year that's going to be different than I did in 2020 is I've got a packaging program that's all I'm going to push. That's it. I've seen influencers do it this year, and your guy is probably one of them. They've had their best year yet. So knowing what it is that you're going to sell, and just push that along with pushing testimonials, that's selling, right? Interviewing people that have used your product, that's selling. So there's just so many different ways to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. And being able to dial that in from education to the call to action, and progressing them through your sales and marketing funnel is what's absolutely critical. And this is just another way to do that I forecast will be even bigger next year than it was this year.
And the way to make that not work for you, like I stay away from the things that don't pay me. The 4 big things are race, religion, politics, and sports. Those don't put money in my pocket, right? I'm a black ex-cop. Like, you think I have a lot to talk about. I don't. Why? Because they don't pay me. I stay literally in my lane. Wide lane, but I stay there. So don't remove the emotion, and you'll build such a vast audience.
Yeah. Focus on, like I said, you lead them in with education, and then having those call to actions throughout the thing. And it's just a matter of, again, video a day. You have plenty of content to be able to do that. If you do 2 videos a year, you don't.
Not gonna get seen.
Yeah, you don't. Then you can just educate or just call to action. But if you don't have that following that you've built through the education, there's no one to call to action.
There it is. Very simple. Consistency wins, folks. People pay for consistency. All right, we'll go to the next one.
All right, personalization. This is something, again, during COVID that became absolutely huge, is in being able to advertise to people very specifically based on exactly where they're at in the funnel. On Facebook, for example, you can set up your pixels to where someone is when they hit your call to action page, it provides 1 pixel. When they hit your thank you page, there's another. If they make it to another page in your funnel, there's another benchmark.
Right.
And then you can have specific ads for retargeting ads based on exactly where they're at.
Yep.
Again, creating a timely targeted message.
It's that simple. I love personalization. I think it allows, I talked earlier about my son just kind of walking in to the camera, or even when my wife comes home and she forgets that I'm in my home studio and she just walks in, I converse with her, because everybody can relate to talking to somebody, right? This is how we exist. But you don't always have to be buttoned up like we are. You can, again, at the end of the day, it's really mixing it up and showing. I've done videos in my car. I've done videos basically from everywhere in the house except for the restroom, but for obvious reasons. But just switching it up and letting people know that you're a human as well. People buy from the human experience.
Yeah, humanizing not just your content, but your brand.
Yes.
Is I believe going to become that much more critical.
Huge. Yeah.
Throughout 2021. So, Anything else you'd like to add in closing?
Normally there is. I think we have given them so much information. Like, we provided in a very short, pretty buttoned-up package, but to do it takes a lot, so just do it.
Yeah, pick one or two things, get started with that, and then start building on the others. So if there's anything else that you feel like we missed, feel free to include it in the comments, and we'd be happy to make a video about it. So, yeah, I'm signing off. Jimmy Talbert.
Dom Fawcett.
Dom Fawcett. Thank you very much.
Ciao.